Welcome back to another episode of Making Podcasts Great Again. I'm your tech stuff guy, Jay Nog, and we are here, of course, with the President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald J. Trump. Mr. President, how are you feeling?
We're feeling strong. I'm doing rallies every day. No masks, no social distancing, no condoms, and we are having a great time. It's called the enthusiasm. It's called enthusiasm, and Sleepy Joe doesn't have.
Why do you slur that word, enthusiasm?
I don't think I slurred anything. No drinking, by the way. Never had a drink in my life.
I know. Can you say that again? Enthusiasm.
You know what? It's called enthusiasm. Okay. And there's no enthusiasm for Joe Biden. There's none. Everybody's like, I guess I'll vote for Joe. And then they don't. And the people love me. My people, they are so excited. They're so excited to vote for me. It's a beautiful thing.
You call him Sleepy Joe, but it sounds like you fall asleep at the beginning of enthusiasm when you say it.
It's a nice word because we've got a lot of it. We've got a whole lot of it. Believe me.
Mr. President, I just want to tell our listeners that this week on Thursday you have the debate with Joe Biden, and it will be a special post recap debate episode with a Q&A with the president. That'll be 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
We're actually calling it a QAnon. We're calling it a QAnon now, not a Q&A.
Okay, we're going to call it a QAnon, and it's 10:30 p.m. Eastern. It's only for Perfect 10, only going up for Perfect 10. So patreon.com/MPGA upgrade.
If you want to join the Q&A or listen to this very powerful, it won't be, but it could be the last debate of my political career. So I think people would want to upgrade to the Perfect 10. Even if they can't do the QAnon, they can join and listen to the episode the next morning. Because this isn't the fake news. This is they hear the real stuff when I do our QAnons with our great Patreon patriots.
I think it's crazy, Mr. President, that you actually said this might be your last debate. I've never heard you speak that way. Like those words would never come out of your mouth.
Well,
is this COVID talking?
No COVID. Although a single mom at an Arizona rally did jerk me off, so I feel like I've lost a little bit of my mojo temporarily. But no masks, by the way, no masks. And no, I know that the Democrats are looking to steal the election. I don't know what they'll do. They are so unpredictable. They're so nasty. They're totally corrupt. So in a just and fair election, I should win. I should win so strongly. But with the tricks and the nastiness and they're scum. They're dirty scum. That's what the Democrats are. And I can't predict what they're going to do.
Well, Mr. President, their COVID cases are spiking around the country now. You are doing your rallies, like you said, no social distancing, no masks. Now,
no
the
condoms.
First thing, no condoms.
You forgot the condoms.
I forgot that.
Well, because we have to procreate. If we're going into the red states, the Democrats are trying to take over. So I'm encouraging all our very smart people who don't believe in science. You got to start having strong kids. You got to start having lots of kids, okay? Little Mountain Dew drops. That's what I call the children of my supporters. Totally great people. We need a lot of them.
Well, Mr. President, you said that people are getting tired of hearing about COVID. I understand that, Mr. President, but
in fact, I'm tired of it. I think we should go to the next topic.
Okay, well, can you explain people crowd surfing at your rally?
Well, I believe that was an African-American congressperson doing it.
Yes.
And to quote the great Russian philosopher Drago, if he dies, he dies.
Drago's a philosopher.
He's a famous sort of Russian poet. And he, so when I see an African, I go, okay, if he wants to, if he wants to, we don't call it crowd surfing at our rallies though, because, surfing is sort of a California thing.
What do you call it?
We call it Herman Caning. When an African-American goes crowd surfing in a sea of COVID, We call it Herman Caning. By the way, the White House for Christmas will be handing out candy canes with Herman Cain's face on the wrapper.
Why, Mr. President?
Oh, because Cain, it's a pun.
I know, but why? Why he passed away just recently? Why don't you have some respect for him and his
What
name?
better
and
way to honor a great businessman and loyal supporter than to put his face on candy for a holiday?
that honors someone. So if someone put your face on like
Well,
an
they say put
M&M,
respect on his name, and I say the new phrase is put his face on some candy.
that's the new phrase for respect.
Put his face on some candy. So if you disrespect me during this podcast, I'm going to say tech stuff. Put my face on some candy.
Mr. President, you have been trashing Fauci lately to the point where it seems like you guys are in the process of getting a very bitter divorce, talking crap about each other. You even said that you would fire him, but you would get bad press for it. You already get bad press. Why don't you just fire him? I don't understand.
Okay, well, apparently we got a good tech stuff guy this week. The agency finally sent a tough one. I like that. You know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe that's what we'll do, because he goes on 60 Minutes, which, by the way, is only about 41 minutes if you take out the commercials. So it's a total fraud program. And, you know, they ask him these questions, and he's so tough. He's so tough when he's not around me. He talks he doesn't put candy. He doesn't put my face on candy.
No.
When he's talking outside my presence, he's always, sir, hello, sir, when he's with me. And then all of a sudden, he's in front of the old people at 60 Minutes, and he's going, and I call it 41 minutes, by the way. He's there, and he's talking all sorts of trash. It's a disgusting thing. And by the way, he hasn't done a good job. He has a horrible reputation. Nobody likes him. He's one of the worst doctors, I think. I was being nice to him by letting him stay. The man is a total failure as a doctor. I think he went to one of those medical schools in, like, you know, one of the Mexican, you know, like Guatemala, Mexico, or Guam, Mexico. I think he went to one of those medical schools.
Ecuador, Mexico, maybe.
I don't think he's a very talented guy. So I am going to, would you mind, tech stuff guy? What's your name again?
Jay.
Ray, would you do a tweet at
Yeah.
Fauci after the show, please?
And what do you want me to say to him? What do you want me to write? Just, you're fired?
Well, say, sir, don't call him sir. Say, Tony, don't even call him doctor. Say, Tony, you're fired. And then use one of those Giphies of me and put it underneath.
It should be like firing someone on The Apprentice. Should it be that gif?
Oh, I was going to use the one of me dancing with the great Jeff Epstein.
Okay, we can do that one too. But I don't understand. Fauci was giving you advice. Fauci was your right-hand man dealing with COVID. And then I feel like when you got frustrated with COVID because people were coming down on you for not wearing a mask and not social distancing and not really taking it seriously, and Fauci was kind of calling you out for that, that's when you kind of turned on him.
Well, he's disrespectful, and he was totally wrong. Totally wrong.
You caught COVID.
No, actually, well, you're right. I caught COVID, but I caught COVID the way, remember Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Yes, I remember Doug the Bounty Hunter.
I think he used the N-word once. That's when I started tuning into the program.
Okay.
He would catch people. He wouldn't, you know, I caught COVID the way Dog the Bounty Hunter caught people. Okay. It didn't have me. I had it. And also Dog the Bounty Hunter, RIP to his wife. I'm not one to normally say this, but I think she might have had too big breasts. Like they might have been too big. I think it's what killed her. I respect it. I respect a woman that is so committed to breasts that she's willing to. That is a cause. They talk about, okay, we've talked about heroes on this show. We've talked about John Lewis, who was sort of a hero. John McCain, total fake hero. Roy Den Hollander, one of the great heroes we've ever had. Jeff Epstein, a superhero, arguably a superhero. And
arguably, definitely.
We don't talk about Dog the Bounty Hunter's wife. I don't think there's anything more heroic than having a heart attack because your body can't sustain how big your breasts are. I don't know if that was the cause of it, but they were so big. I thought I don't know how long she can last with those, but
I didn't know you were a fan of that show.
well, I wasn't originally. I didn't have anything against it, but it was okay. It's a show.
Her name
And then
was
I heard,
Beth Smith, Mr.
well, it
President.
was Beth Smith. Okay.
I
And
said that.
we honor her. We honor her very strongly. But Fauci, they talk about Fauci, a hero.
Right.
Fauci's not willing to die for some, whatever they were, Triple H cups. He's not willing to. And what were we talking about?
We're talking about Doug the Bounty Hunter's
Well,
wife's
no, he said
breasts.
he was rumored to say the N word. And I said, okay, well, let's watch this show.
Mr. President, I'm sorry to hear that your son Barron also got COVID as well. Sorry.
Who?
Barron. I have to remind you this all the time. You refer to him sometime as Kristaps Porzingis. You refer to him as Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, Kristaps Porzingis is from Slovenia, which is close to Melatonin's home country of Slutsylvania.
How is Barron feeling?
I'm not one to make jokes. Okay. I'm a serious person, very serious. In fact, I don't know who that is. I don't know. They talk about a Barron and, I hope he's okay. I hope whoever he is, he's a nice person, but I don't know who that is.
He's your son, Mr. President, and he got COVID. He was sick with it. Your whole family was sick with it. You, Melania, and Barron all got COVID. Chris Christie's out of the hospital. Are you happy to hear that?
Krispy Kreme. I don't. Well, he's alive, so we can acknowledge him. No, I don't know. Are you saying this Barron person? Is this person the one who gave us the COVID? Is he sort of a secret Democrat?
No, he's your child, and I think he probably caught it from you, or well, he definitely caught it from Melania. I don't think he caught it from you.
So you're saying that Melania can't be trusted? That these two people are sort of trying to bring down my presidency?
No, what I'm saying is that you don't spend any time with your son, so therefore you couldn't give him COVID. Melania raises him.
Have you met Don Jr.? He's sort of annoying.
But Don Jr. never got COVID. We're talking about Barron here.
Right,
your
because
youngest.
I don't spend time with him. You said I don't spend time with my son. I'm saying I don't because Don Jr. is an annoying little chinless bitch.
But I'm talking about Barron, your son Barron, who has COVID. See, you don't.
Well, I hope whoever he is, I hope he stays away from me if he's got COVID.
I know. I'm sure he is staying away from you, like he's been staying away from you for the last 13 years. So,
well, I don't know who he is, but if he is my son, he should have to pay parental support.
Parental support? Is that the opposite of child support? He has to pay for you to be his parent?
Oh, excuse me. The amount of times I have to hear about this, I think not fake news, but fake person, Barron. I don't know. It's a total it's a disgrace. It's a total disgrace. The fact that they keep throwing these fake kids.
Do you think people are throwing fake children at you to throw you off your game?
Children are very important to me. Okay. They are precious. And that's why somebody like the great Jeff Epstein was so important to me, because he never forgot a kid. He never forgot a kid. He was a great mentor, a great philanthropist, which is what philanthropist, because he would fill Anne with piss. She was into golden showers, and that's why we called him a philanthropist. And this is somebody who being around him, I realized how important our youth people are. And I would not forget a child. Okay. I learned from the great Jeff Epstein how important children are. and I would not forget a kid.
Did you watch his documentary? My wife and I started watching it. Very creepy.
I
Extremely.
reviewed it for Rotten Oranges,
I didn't hear
our
that
great
review.
Patreon.
Let me guess. You enjoyed it a lot.
Well, I thought it was it was a tremendous showcase of a real hero.
Oh, I don't know about a hero, but
No,
Mr.
no, no.
President.
I think maybe you're too PC, but the man was a total hero.
Well, speaking of heroes, Mr. President, a lot of people look up to athletes as their heroes. And we have a very heroic sponsor this week, Mr. President. And can you guess who our sponsor is?
You're getting very strong at our sponsors. I would say it's got to be somebody called betonline.ag.
That is correct. And Mr. President, we could all finally bet on football. I love betting on football. I bet every single week, and I bet with betonline.ag. You might not be at a game this year, but you can still be in on the action at BetOnline. Now, BetOnline is going the extra mile to make sure that you can get in on everything imaginable this season, and that's from game spreads and totals to team, player, and coaching props. BetOnline gives you more options to wager than any place online. They also have a casino. They also have odds for the presidency, vice presidency, some prop betting. You can get in on season opening bonuses today and start off wagering on win, division, and championship futures today. So head to BetOnline today and take advantage of all the great sign-up bonuses. That's BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts, betonline.ag. Now,
I have heard some horrible news. This is called breaking news.
oh my gosh, what's going on, Mr. President?
Well, some of it's good, some of it's not so good. Rush Limbaugh says that he is under a death sentence due to his stage 4 lung cancer. So it seems that one day we won't be able to hear all the beautiful misogynistic and sexist and racist things coming from his beautiful mouth.
Well,
But in happier news, now that we're over that, 50 Cent has endorsed Donald Trump. We got Ice Cube, and now we got 50 Cent.
I wanted to ask you about your rapper entourage because you've almost created a somewhat NWA group yourself, okay, Mr. President?
And with a hard R.
With a very hard R, okay? You have Kanye West in your corner. You have
Although Kanye's been bumped to 3. We got Ice Cube, who's you hear him, he's a very smart, scholarly type fella. And now we got 50 Cent. We got 50 Cent. And I got to say, 50 Cent's sort of the most muscular of the 3 of those guys. And BGMP, he has a poster in his office that says, "Get dick or die trying." And it's a picture of 50 Cent. So we love that. I'm telling you, there's these breaking news. We're getting tremendous tweets from fans. I'm going to do something I never do on the show. I don't read out tweets. Just Some Guy Ben, a person named Just Some Guy Ben. Been waiting all day for the newest Trump pod. So I guess that's probably a Patreon patriot if he's looking for the new one today. The poor people get it on Wednesday morning, like lazy Democrats. Hopefully during some time frame, we can be graced with Mr. President, sir. Mr. President, sir. Do you see that?
He's a Patreon patriot.
Without question, without question. Hopefully during some time frame, we can be graced with Mr. President, sir's take on the new debate rules.
It's great. It's not graced.
Well, they pronounce it different ways.
Okay.
With muted mics. They're going to mute the mics on Thursday.
Are they really?
Well, that's what Just Some Guy Ben is telling me, and I would always trust Some Guy Ben. And he reminded me, you didn't even bring this up. I think, wasn't Big A Mike Pence very nice to you when you had him on the show?
Yes, I wanted to talk to you about that. He knew a lot about me, which was a little weird.
Well, he listens to the show. He's a total loyal listener. And
he's very sweet man, very charming.
You see why I keep him around? He's loyal, but he's caring. He's a great Christian, very caring. And he's got that, get dick or die trying poster for the 50 cent. So he's excited.
I heard you're sending him to an actual truck stop publicly
He
to
was there
campaign.
today. He is
Yeah.
there, and I think he's probably still there tonight.
That's amazing. He went to a truck stop.
You know, it's one of those things that when you talk about a podcast, okay, and I mean this totally as Trump, and you say things over the course of years, and your listeners sort of hear things and they go, oh, that's funny. That's nice. That's so nice. And then 8 months later, it repeatedly happens in real life. You'd think people would be sort of screaming this from the mountaintops. Mr. President, Sir, Donald Trump, President, Sir's podcast is the greatest thing on the face of the planet.
I agree.
Do you see what keeps happening? Big gay Mike Pence at a truck stop rally. Have I not been telling our great fans, maybe for years, what a great fan of truck stops our vice president is?
I've heard. He told us about it. He told us that he loves truck stops.
And you'd think, you know, strong supporters wouldn't just keep that to themselves, that they'd be yelling at friends, attacking neighbors, beating up people, saying, if you don't listen to this podcast, you're ruining America. And it was another example. So, no, big gay Mike Pence, he was at a truck stop. And, you know, who knows how long he'll be there. But I know he's going to pray with every trucker that wants to pray. No, I saw he brought multiple sets of knee pads to the rally. So
backup knee pads.
The man prays so hard, you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it.
He has like the rollerblading knee pads, the one that have the plastic ones.
Well, he wears the rollerblades too. But 50 Cent, we got 50 Cent. I'm gonna have to share a video with our great people soon.
Now, Mr. President, you were dancing at your rally recently. Did 50 Cent teach you to dance that way, or Kanye, or anyone, or that just came naturally? That was just you feeling the music.
That's just me feeling the music. You know, it just hits me, and I wanna move.
It kind of looked like a video game dance, where if like you press a button and a character would dance on a video game. That's the kind of dance it was. It was like a very short little GIF dance.
Well, that's what the kids want. You know, the young people who love me, by the way. You've got to do this sort of TikTok friendly stuff. Nobody cares about the Michael Jackson moonwalk anymore. That's not enough. That's too much for the TikTok. Nobody needs Chris Brown doing all sorts of great dances. They want the Trump dance. They want the simple, anybody can do it, but you got to feel the music. You got to feel great patriotism and great rhythm. And I have so much of both.
So it's called the Trump dance. Is that the name for it?
Yeah, it's called, well, the true name. And once again, you get me a little upset. It's called the Epstein two-step.
The Epstein. So he taught it to you?
No, he didn't. It was sort of, we discovered it together, but it was, okay. Well, here's the origins of it. Okay.
I was going to ask you for the story.
Can we go off the podcast record for this? I don't want to,
We are off.
Okay, we're off. Here's what happens. So we were on his private island, which of course everything's legal. So nothing I'm saying here was illegal. Okay. We're on his private island, which was under the rule of Jeff Epstein law. And we were with his masseuse, who either taught 8th grade or was in 8th grade. I don't remember the first part of what Jeff said, but she either taught 8th grade, which I think is the case, or she was probably in 8th grade. Yeah, okay. I mean, it would make sense. She seemed mature, but she, like I said, taught 8th grade, possibly in 8th grade. I didn't hear the first part of what Jeff said.
Okay.
So we're double teaming her, of course, and he's at the front. He's at the the top. And I'm going to town on her, lady parts. And Jeff, pulled out unexpectedly and got some on me. And so I took 2 steps back out of the young lady and like shook my hands to get the Jeff Epstein, the superpowered semen off of me. I was like waving it off. So it was, as you can see in the video, that's what it was. So I had to step back and then I had to shake the Epstein juices off of me. And we had a good laugh about it and we went back to doing what we were doing. But it was, and then we were drinking that night. Well, I wasn't drinking. I was having a Diet Coke. He was drinking. And, we were they were either cheerleading coaches or sixth grade cheerleaders.
I'm probably the cheerleading coach. I'm assuming probably the cheerleading coach, but who knows? I'm assuming.
I get it's
whenever you talk about Jeff Epstein, you get so emotional. I feel horrible.
We'll go back on the record in a second. Okay. But it was tough because, that night we were partying with the cheerleading coaches. Okay. And they were, they were like me. They didn't want to drink alcohol. They were all drinking juice boxes.
Yeah, coaches, you get tired and they have a.
Well, they're setting an example for their cheerleaders.
Of course.
I remember it like it was yesterday. They wanted gummy bears and juice boxes.
Just strictly a gummy bear and juice box diet on Epstein Island.
And
it's very emotional today. Very emotional episode.
So Jeff Epstein, the great Jeff Epstein. The great Jeff Epstein put in some music.
Did everyone start doing the Epstein two-step?
No. The dance hadn't been invented yet. It was, in other words, that's how it happened.
Oh,
I told you the origin, but then the cheerleaders said, could you put in some music, Mr. Epstein? And I liked that they called him Mr. Epstein, even though they were coaches, maybe. And they handed him a tape. It was Raffi.
Was it the Apples and Bananas song?
And I thought, this is so great. These are coaches, but they're into wholesome snacks and sort of youthful, nice, youthful music, not like the gang banging rap or anything.
Right.
So they, Jeff Epstein put in the Raffi, and, they were, the coaches, the cheerleading coaches were all eating their gummy bears and drinking their juice boxes. And the music moved me. And Jeff Epstein said to me, what if you remember when we were with the 8th grade teacher, hopefully,
right.
teacher?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remember that move you did? And it kind of fit with the music. So I started actually doing that dance to the music, to the Raffi music. So it was a great wholesome time with, it was a beautiful time with the great Jeff Epstein.
Now, Mr. President, the polls are not looking very good for you right now, but I know you're going to remind everyone.
People are notoriously stupid.
I mean, the election polls, and this happened in 2016 as well, where the polls weren't looking for you good either. And then, a week up into the election, your numbers started to go up and you ended up winning. Are you nervous? Because I think it's worse than 2016 right now, how the polls look.
We are going to pull off such a beautiful upset. It's going to be the greatest upset you've ever seen. The greatest upset you've ever seen. I'm not going to lose to Sleepy Joe. The polls are run by fake news, and they don't want me to win. They want to discourage our great people. But as you saw from my Arizona rally, no masks, no social distancing, no condoms, no consent. That's the full motto of all our rallies, and everybody shows up very happy, very proud to be American, very pro-Trump.
Did you see a T-shirt at one of the rallies that one of the women were wearing, where it said, "Trump, you can grab this pussy"? Did you see that shirt?
No, of course she blew me late after the rally.
That was not a Trump caliber woman who I'm okay. Well,
I might have been a different one. They're very popular shirts.
okay. Okay. So that's a very popular shirt that's at your rallies that you see.
Oh, I
Do
see
you
it all the time.
do you treat your rallies like a Motley Crue concert from the 80s, just having your security just pull women from the crowd?
With less consent. I don't know if you read The Dirt, but we do less consent than Motley Crue.
So they're basically not pulled from the crowd, they're kidnapped from the crowd.
No, they come willingly. They show up willingly. I'm because when they come in, they sign the waiver that COVID. You accept the responsibility for COVID and conceiving a child when you walk into my rally.
Okay. Now, you had a message for suburban women, women in the suburbs, in the country, and you said
Suburban women, will you please love me?
yes.
Will you
That's what
please like me?
yes, like me, love
Yes,
me.
your neighbors are safe now. They're safe because of me, darling. And it's true. Ever since I stopped going to the suburbs, raping women because I'm in the White House, totally safe.
So rapes have gone down in the suburbs since you've stopped visiting the suburbs.
Totally. It's ever since I stopped going to the suburbs, rapes have plummeted.
Well,
If I don't get
congratulations.
reelected, there's no telling how many suburbs I'll go to.
And how the rapes are just going to go up exponentially.
No, I said rakes, like leaves.
Oh,
I
so
don't. It's always consent with me. There's when you're president, consent is automatic. That's in the Constitution.
Mr. President, you also said at one of your rallies that you're COVID free and you were talking about even kissing one of the men in front of you.
That
Do you
was
remember
just a
that?
tease. That was just to tease the vice president.
Just to get Vice President Pence jealous.
Jealous and a little worked up. It's a little game. It's a little game I play with the vice president.
Does he perform better that way when he's worked up?
Well, no, he does. I know he watches. You ever see the movie The Beastmaster?
Never seen it, but I've heard of it.
He watches. It's bringing me back to the 80s, which remind me of my great times. No, he watches The Beastmaster. He's confided in me. Actually, he doesn't tell me this, but I walked in and I have security cameras in his bedroom for security. But whenever he's going to be intimate with mother, they do it. He does it doggy style, and they put on The Beastmaster on the TV.
Wow, I didn't know that about Vice President Pence. That Beastmaster is his fluffing
Loves animals.
material.
He's a huge fan of animals, apparently.
Well, it's very interesting. I also want to remind all our listeners that on Thursday we will be doing the post debate recap and what is it, QAnon?
QAnon.
QAnon, 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's only for Perfect 10. So
And that's
Patreon.
written when you're writing that. It's called Q, and then the and symbol,
Mm-hmm.
and then NON.
When?
That's
Okay.
our own little tricky way to do it.
Okay.
Actually, no, excuse me. It's Q, N sign, A, NON. So it looks like Q&A. We fool everybody with the Q&A, but when we really get them to the QAnon.
I gotcha. So it's only for Perfect 10. That's it. Perfect 10 live, Perfect 10 going
50
to
Cent
afterwards.
is probably a perfect 10. He's got a lot of money from selling vitamin water.
Yes, he's definitely a Perfect 10. So that's patreon.com/MPGA. I would upgrade to that. Always awesome episodes. And come in, ask the president a question, and hear about the debate. Also, leave a review. People, we're asking you right now, big month, coming up to November, election month. leave a review. We're going to be doing lots of episodes, little bonus episodes to the month
It's
of
the
November.
biggest month. We need everybody in this. People have been going back into the archives. Everybody's got to review it. Everybody's got to give it the 5 stars. Everybody. If you haven't done it, you go on the Apple Tunes, you do it. It's just, this is what it has to be.
Go on, people, because all the reviews people are saying, I just discovered this podcast, and then my friend told me about it, and I've been binging every episode. Everyone tell their friends about it. Let everybody discover it before it's too late. Mr. President, Hunter Biden, you have like a hard-on for Hunter Biden, huh? I mean, you won't let this go. It's very... The news, the Post ran with it, but Fox News wouldn't even run with the story. So it shows you that it's very shady and not a lot of facts involved, that Hunter Biden's doing some business
Excuse me. I'm done with Fox News, okay? When I was double teaming the 2 chicks from OAN, they told me specifically they totally believed the Hunter Biden story with total strength. They totally believed it. They know it's true. OAN has been doing very powerful work. And it's fun because every time I show up at OAN, it's like a contest to see who's going to be wife number 4. And they all really go all out. And what they don't realize is they're all going to lose. Don't tell them that, but they think they're the side piece network.
Mr. President, the news doesn't seem true that's coming out about it, but you are comparing Hunter Biden's laptop to Anthony Weiner's laptop, there was evidence found of him talking to underage girls. How do you mix the two? I mean, that is one way to spin something, and bravo, because that's a good job. I mean, I don't understand how either of them have anything in common.
Well, I can tell you right now that it's very powerful, and we have great evidence. And if there's one thing that I can't stand, and everybody who listens to this podcast knows it, it's grown men associating with underage girls.
It's the one thing that just gets you.
It is, above all things, it's the thing that bothers me the most. And if Hunter Biden has been engaging in activities with women that are not of age, I think it's important, and I think Joe Biden shouldn't be president. Sleepy Joe shouldn't be president.
Well, Mr. President, I don't think what you're saying. They're saying it's business overseas, which is very, very vague. So I don't know how that is compared to underage girls. But I mean, that's like the one thread you're hanging on to right now.
Whenever I went to Asia, we always stopped in Thailand, and had our way with.
Don't you mean Thailand?
Oh.
You said Thailand.
No, I said Thailand.
I must have misheard you. I thought you said Thailand, but it was probably Thailand.
No. Excuse. Okay, I see the confusion. Thailand is an underage bondage club in Thailand that I would go to with Jeff Epstein.
Well, that all makes sense now. Mr. President, always appreciate the time you spend with us week in and week out, especially the bonus episode coming up this Thursday for the Perfect 10 Patreon Patriots, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Upgrade, patreon.com/MPGA, and we still have some of those t-shirts available on our website, mpgapod.com. Check out the shirts, check out the YouTube page. We have episodes up there where you can see the videos, so you can see everything that's going on. And every episode is up there too, so you can catch up and binge. Leave those ratings and reviews, and that's really it, Mr. President. You have anything to say?
No, it was a powerful episode. I think people, other than the off the record stuff, I think they know everything they need to know. So thanks for listening, guys. Much appreciated. And seriously, we're in the home stretch. That doesn't mean the podcast is ending, but we're never, it's going to be fun. You guys have been with us hopefully for a while, but there's always room for more people to join. And this there's no better time for people to pick this up. They may not get the inside jokes right away, but any new listener could listen to any episode at any time and enjoy the shit out of it. So please, as we head into the election, spread the word. Join the Patreon, upgrade your Patreon membership. We'll figure out more good stuff. And there'll be a Rotten Oranges at the end of this month for the Ivanka level. Trump will be reviewing Borat 2 and Cuties.
Oh God.
So thank you for your support. Get those reviews in, spread the word. That's it. And if you want to support the show, get one of those t-shirts. They're real nice. That's it. A lot of ways to support the show. If you don't have money, spread the word. If you have money, join the Patreon. If you have a lot of money, join the Patreon and get a t-shirt. So
there you go.
I think that's about it. So thank you, everybody, and God help us all.